What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So as you guys can see, this is not my normal set. I am in my kitchen and I did a remodel. So I bought a house a couple of months ago and I did some renovations. So we did a complete remodel of the kitchen and then we also remodeled the master bathroom. So I will unveil that in a future video, but I wanted to check out my new setup here. And this is just one setup. Obviously, I still have this stuff upstairs, so I'll still be shooting videos from my studio, but I want to kind of mix it up now and do videos in different places. Plus, I have another channel that I'm working on right now that I'm going to start talking a little bit more about smart home devices and things like that. So that's going to be a whole nother channel. And once I get that up and running, I will let you guys know, so you guys will be the first to know once I start that channel. So as far as the kitchen goes, the kitchen and the master bathroom, I will show you a detailed video on that in the future once everything is complete, because we still have some things going on in the other room. We're still working on the flooring. We haven't finished that yet. And so there's some other things that need to happen. And so once everything is all in place, then I'll give you guys a nice little tour. And then we're going to talk about the person who made this all happen. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on the channel. He's a little shy when it comes to being on camera, so I will at least give you guys the information. So if you live in Southern California and you're interested in getting a remodeled kitchen, remodeled bathroom, remodel anything when it comes to your house, you're going to want to look him up. So I'll give you guys more information when I do the unveiling of the kitchen and the master bathroom. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what I want to discuss today. And this is one of those things. When we're looking at this child tax credit, now I've talked about the child tax credit before. I'm not going to be talking about the child tax credit right now, okay? I'm talking about what's next, because we have a lot of people in the comments when I post a video and I talk about child tax credit. People are upset. They're upset that families are getting money, and you might be elderly, you might be on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and a fixed income, and you're not getting anything. And you're thinking, yeah, that's unfair. And it is unfair. However, I think there's a method to the madness here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money, news, and more. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so the method to the madness. So we're talking about this child tax credit. The $250 or the $300, depending on how old your child is, you're getting these monthly payments. Now, this is an experiment, okay? And that's the way that I feel about it. I think when we're looking at tax cuts, because that's what this is, we have to understand this is a tax cut that's given out to you on a monthly basis. That's what we're looking at here, okay? It's not free money. And I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to do an experiment. Does this work? Because the whole focus here was to focus on poor children, right? That was bring children out of poverty. That was the whole push. And so I think it's been effective. And I think when we're looking at the Build Back Better plan, they will extend it. And once that happens, I think they'll start looking down the road and, okay, let's look at other areas. And I think what's going to happen, and this is what I hope, and we're looking at a campaign season, 2022 is a campaign season, you're going to hear some politicians starting to push the narrative of, look, you know what, the child tax credit was effective for families. Now let's look into people on Social Security, people on SSI, veterans. Let's look at them as well, because we could have something very, very similar where it's a tax cut and we give it to them on a monthly basis. And so I think, and I'm hoping that is where they're going when it comes to the monthly payments. Okay. Now, I do not want to get your hopes up. And I always like to say this. No politician has mentioned this as of yet. However, you are hearing a lot of politicians talking about this tax cut, this child tax cut or child tax credit, however you want to call it. They're talking about this a lot. They're happy about the fact that we have this child tax credit, and that's why they want to extend it. It's only a matter of time where you're going to hear some politicians start putting that out there. Well, you know what? We need to help other areas too. We can't just help people. We can't just help families. We need to help other people as well. And so that will come up. And being that we're looking at a situation where we have a campaign season starting in January, basically, they will start early. you're going to hear politicians put that out there. And I can't think of a politician who's running for a re-election saying that they're against giving monthly payments for families, as well as giving monthly payments to people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, veterans. Because if you say you're against that, you're probably not going to win re-election. And if this is your first election, if you're running for the first time, you're going to be saying a lot of this stuff. Now, what needs to happen is they need to get this stuff done prior to the election. So prior to November of 2022. If they get this done before November of 2022, that's good for the American people. If they can't get it done before then guess what? You might be looking at a situation where nothing will happen for some time, because that's just the way things go. People run the campaigns, they say a lot of stuff, and then once they get into office, they see the reality. And let's face it, it's not all that politicians just don't want to do things, or they're just saying things to get elected. It's not all about that. Some politicians do that, but some politicians genuinely want to make change. However, they run into the roadblocks as soon as they get there, because once you get into office, now you have other people with other ideas, and then you have the politics going on when it comes to Democrats and Republicans and the power struggles and all that. And so you might come in there with good intentions, but you really can't do much because there's just so much back and forth. And it just becomes, it's not about helping the American people. It's more about maintaining power. And that's what the parties are doing. We have this two-party system. The two-party system, very strong. That's why you don't see third parties being effective. And because the two-party system is so powerful, we just get the back and forth, right? So in this midterm election coming up, Republicans will probably gain some seats, and they'll probably take over the House. I would say that they're going to take over the House for sure. When it comes to the Senate, there's a good possibility to take over the Senate as well. And then there's going to be more power struggle. And so it's almost like you have one party betting against the country, realistically, because they're betting that things go bad, because if things go bad, then they can win seats. If they win seats, they get the power. And then when they're in power, they're hoping things go good. And then the other side is hoping that things go bad. So how do we move forward when it comes to that? So, I mean, this is something that we really need to focus on. And part of the reason why I like getting on here and talking about public policy is just to let you see that, you know what, we're paying politicians $175,000 a year. And some of the politicians are not doing anything on purpose because they want to gain power. And that's how you gain power. If there's chaos, then you come in and you say, I'll fix everything. And then when you get there and you get that power, then you just try to maintain that power by throwing little carrots out there. So we'll have to see where everything goes. But when it comes to the child tax credit, don't be upset. If you are on Social Security, or if you're SSI, SSDI veterans, don't be upset about the child tax credit. Look at this as an example. Look at this as a test. And that's when you need to start calling your politicians and say, look, you know what? The child tax credit is very effective for families. Why can't we have something like this for people on Social Security? That's what you need to do. That's the angle that you should be taking when it comes down to it. And most politicians are going to look at you and say, you know what? You're right. We need to start looking into some type of monthly payments for people who are on fixed income. And so that's how you have to attack this situation. You can't just say, no, I'm not for the child tax credit because it doesn't help the elderly. You have to look at it the other way around. You have to look at it. It's helping families. It's helping children. So now let's find something that will help the elderly that's just like the child tax credit. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, but I want to know what you guys think about this. So let me know how you feel about this whole situation. Do you think this child tax credit is a good example of using it in other areas, not just a child tax credit, but having something for elderly people, having something for veterans, having something for people who are on SSI and SSDI? Let me know your comments down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.